What if I told you the future of cars might not be fully electric? What if instead of waiting hours at charging stations, your car could generate its own electricity while driving? And what if the company behind this idea is not Tesla, not BYD, but Mazda? Yeah, the same Mazda most people don't even think about in the EV race. But now, they might have just changed the entire game. Because what Mazda just revealed isn't just a new engine. It's a completely different way of thinking about the future. Right now, the entire auto industry is moving in one direction: electric vehicles. Every major company is investing billions into bigger batteries, faster charging, longer range, and leading that race are giants like Tesla and BYD. But here's the problem no one wants to talk about. Charging is still a headache. Range anxiety is real. And infrastructure still not fully ready, especially outside major cities. So instead of joining the same race, Mazda asked a dangerous question. What if we don't need charging at all? And that question led to something incredible. Mazda brought back one of the most unique engines in automotive history, the rotary engine. But this isn't the old version. This is a fully upgraded, intelligent, hybrid system that works in a completely different way. Instead of powering the wheels directly, the engine generates electricity. That electricity powers a battery, and the battery runs an electric motor. So what you get is the smooth, silent feel of an EV, the freedom of a gasoline car, and zero charging stress. Let that sink in. Why this is a big deal. Think about this for a second. Tesla solved the fuel problem, but replaced it with a charging problem. Mazda just skipped both. You don't need to. Find charging stations. Wait in line. Plan your route around chargers. You just drive, and the car takes care of the rest. That's why experts are calling this a potential turning point in the EV revolution, because instead of improving EVs, Mazda might have redefined them. Mazda's story. Now, to really understand why this matters, you need to understand Mazda. This isn't a company that follows trends. Mazda has always been different. Founded back in Hiroshima, Japan in 1920, they weren't even building cars at first. But over time, they developed a reputation for one thing: doing what others wouldn't. While the industry focused on traditional engines, Mazda bet everything on the rotary engine, a risky, unconventional technology. And in the 1960s, they proved it could work. Cars like the Mazda Cosmo and RX series turned the rotary engine into a symbol of innovation. But there was a problem. The problem with rotary engines: 6 to 730. The old rotary engines had serious flaws: high fuel consumption, overheating issues, shorter lifespan, and eventually, Mazda had to step back. For years, it seemed like the rotary engine was gone for good, but behind the scenes, Mazda engineers never gave up. They kept working, refining, reimagining, until now. The new rotary technology. This time, everything is different. Mazda didn't just bring the rotary engine back, they rebuilt it from the ground up. Here's what changed. 1. Precision fuel. Injection fuel is now delivered exactly where it's needed. That means more efficiency, less waste, better performance. 2. Advanced cooling system. One of the biggest problems, overheating, is now controlled. New thermal management keeps the engine stable, even under heavy load. 3. Reduced friction. Mazda used advanced coatings like diamond-like carbon, DLC, result, smoother operation, less wear, longer life. 4. Ultra-compact design. This engine is incredibly small, which means more space inside the car, better weight distribution, higher efficiency, the game changer. But here's the real breakthrough. This engine doesn't power the wheels. It acts as a range extender. That means it only generates electricity. It charges the battery. The electric motor does the driving, so the driving experience is silent, smooth, instant torque, just like a Tesla, but without the biggest downside: charging. Real-world advantage. Now imagine real-world driving. With a normal EV, you drive 300 to 400 miles, then you must recharge, sometimes waiting 30 minutes or more. With Mazda's system, you just refuel like a normal car and keep going. Total range: up to 800 to 1,000 kilometers, 500 to 600 miles. That's nearly double what many EVs offer, without the stress, Why Tesla and BYD should worry, 1400 to 1600. Now you see the problem for companies like Tesla. They built their entire strategy around batteries, charging networks, full electrification. But Mazda just introduced a system that says, you might not need any of that. And if customers start thinking that way, the entire EV market could shift. Cliffhanger. But here's where things get even more interesting. Because this technology isn't just about convenience, it could completely reshape global car pricing, infrastructure investments, and even government EV policies. And the biggest question is this the future of cars, or just a temporary alternative? Because what happens next could decide the fate of the entire auto industry. If you want to stay ahead of the biggest shifts in EV, tech, and global markets, make sure you hit subscribe, because what's coming next is even bigger.